not that I don't want you here. It's something about the way you stare.
Hey babes, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maya. If this is your very first time here. So today, y'all, we are going to be doing a quick tips video on how to be more feminine. Y'all know that I have been on a feminine journey and I've never just done my top tips video. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm also going to be showing you guys how to get very soft looking and long lasting makeup. Today's video is sponsored by Haley's. So thank you to Haley's for sponsoring your girl today. Before we hop into it, please make sure that you hit subscribe below if you have not yet so that you are updated when new videos come out. Also make sure you hit that notification bell as well so that you are updated when new videos go up. I feel like we ain't did that intro in a minute. Let's go ahead and hop right into it, y'all. So we're just gonna go ahead and hop into the makeup while we chat about this. I'm gonna be using my Milk Hydro Grip Primer today. Don't mind my nails, y'all. I just had to take a couple of them off because they were split and ain't nobody got time for the pain, okay? And since we want our skin to look very soft and feminine today, I am gonna go for my NARS Soft Matte Foundation, and this is in Marquise. So obviously everybody's feminine journey is different. Y'all know I love to preface my videos with that because I'm not the type of person that likes to push, you know, certain ideals and things on people because everybody is different and their own ways are beautiful for them. But these tips are just some things that I kind of go by when I am looking to be more feminine, because my journey has been more intentional than like someone who's just is naturally just a feminine woman. And we're gonna be talking about physical as well as, you know, on the inside, because that matters. But my first tip would be that less is more. And for me, that goes for, you know, my clothing, my jewelry, just how I put myself together physically. And it reads more feminine than if you pile on a lot of stuff or you look extremely busy in your appearance. Recently, I've been extremely intentional about streamlining my clothing and making sure that I always look nice and put together, but I'm never like, I never wanted to look like I try too hard. You know, I feel like that's a feminine attribute, to where you just look like you woke up like this, you threw something on and you just look effortlessly chic and feminine without trying too hard, you know? And it actually takes work to make it look like you ain't tried too hard. As far as my clothing concerned, I also have started to try to wear more dresses and skirts. That's not for everybody, but that's just personally me, something that I want to do to feel more feminine personally. For me, it also means less is more when it comes to my makeup, y'all. I have streamlined like my makeup, especially for my feminine journey and my self-love journey that I'm on. So I tend to go more towards simple makeup, but I still like a full beat, okay? I still like my makeup to be extremely full coverage, but I still want to look super, super soft. So to save a little time, I am going to throw on some bronzer on my lids and then throw my lashes on, because this is kind of what I've been doing on a daily basis for a more softer feminine look. I still like to play with eyeshadows and stuff like that, but on a typical day, if you watch my vlogs, you know bronzer and a lash is all I need. So when I do want to be super full coverage, but I still want to look very soft and feminine, I love Hailey's Beauty's products. So you guys know I've talked about Hailey's before on my channel. I have used their concealer, their sponge, their powder multiple times on the channel because they're really, really dope. If you are unfamiliar with Hailey's Beauty, they are a cruelty-free, 100% cruelty-free and vegan brand. And all of their products are formulated with skin-friendly ingredients, so it's not bad for your skin. It doesn't feel really cakey, but it gives you that full coverage that you need, or that I need. I'm gonna go ahead into my concealer. This is the Rewind Blurring Full Coverage Concealer, and a little bit of this goes a really long way. That's why I love it for my full coverage days, because I don't have to use a whole lot of product. I pretty much will just dab like 3 dots underneath my eye, and that's really all I need. I don't need so much because of how full coverage it is. And I'm gonna leave this side blank just so you guys can kind of see how it makes it a blurring effect that gives us that soft look. I'm gonna be using the Remix Complexion Sponge, which I absolutely love, to blend this out. And I know y'all can see how that little bit of concealer just completely brightened up my under eye, and it made it so beautiful, and it looks super duper soft. It blends out super easily, but also gives you so much coverage and doesn't look super cakey. And I feel like when we're going for less is more makeup, cakey is the last thing that we want. We want to look minimal and soft and feminine. So I love that you can use less of this product and still get the type of vibe that you're looking for. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in on this under eye without setting so that you can kind of see how the skin is looking. And then you can also see how much it brightens and blurs the skin versus over here with nothing. It kind of just gives that soft feminine vibe, and I love it. I'm gonna go ahead and add it to this side of the face and then go ahead and blend that out as well. My top thing is I love how this concealer gives me full coverage but also still looks soft even before I even like set it, but let's go ahead and set it. I'm gonna use the Retouch Soft Focus Setting Powder from Hailey's Beauty to set the face. You can either use a sponge or their powder brush to apply your powder. It depends on you. Y'all know I tend to crease and I get real oily and stuff, so I like to pile it on with my sponge. If you like a lighter application, you have dry skin, I feel like using their powder brush is a better bet for you. But I'm gonna go ahead and use my sponge. The powder is a hydrating powder. It is not cakey and it just extends the wear of your makeup. And I'm just adding it to other parts of the face very lightly just to make sure that everything is nice and set. And now we have a beautiful, soft, feminine base. I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can see how we are looking. The skin is super blurred, which I absolutely love. That's what adds to that softer makeup look. And the fact that these products are super long lasting, especially that powder that really locks it in and extends the wear of the makeup. Baby, I'll be looking soft and feminine all day. So, before I finish the face, I'm gonna go ahead and use the Refresh Ultimate Priming and Setting Spray to just set the face, make sure everything stays in place, and make sure it's still long lasting throughout the day. Thank you again to Hailey's for sponsoring today's video, and let's go ahead and get back into these tips. So I'm gonna go ahead into my bronzer just to bronze up the face, bring the color back in. This is from Mented. But my second tip that I have gone by to become more of a feminine woman is to work on embracing the things that make me a woman or a feminine woman. I feel like there's so many attributes that are attributed to being feminine or meaning that you're feminine, and we're talking about things like, you know, having heightened emotions, being loving, being caring, loving hard, cheerfulness, like all of these, having a big heart, these kind of things are associated with being feminine. And I feel like these are some of the things that I do possess that sometimes I might have a little pushback on, just because like there are multiple reasons why you would have pushback on these types of things. Like for me, a big one is being emotional. I am super emotional. And I've said before on videos that I've had dudes that, you know, would be like, they like me so much and they'd be like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Like, it's gotta be something. And my answer, or sometimes my first thing to think of, is be like, I'm emotional. Because a lot of men in my past have repelled that. So for me, I see it as a negative, and I've just been teased about it, you know, throughout my life and by siblings and friends and stuff like that. So I've always seen it as a negative thing. And I've been learning in my journey that it's not a negative thing. As long as I'm being intentional about learning how to control it and that it doesn't take over me, it's okay that I'm an emotional person. That's part of who I am, and that is a big attribute of being a woman. And I'm working on embracing that about myself, because it's okay. God made me that way for a reason. But I feel like other things in life can make us hard up too on these kind of things. Things like heartbreak, being alone and raising children alone, and men in your life not showing up and being that head, you know, type of thing. So you have to be that, you know, so it kind of hearts you up, makes you feel like you can't have a huge big heart, like you can't be emotional, like you can't, you know, you have to be that strong person. And that's hard. And I feel like whatever you feel are the attributes that make you a woman that you want to embrace, you gotta tackle them reasons behind it that's making you repel that behavior, if that makes sense. I am adding a smidge of some bronzer underneath my eyes just to kind of pull the whole face together. My third tip would be to pay attention to more of the smaller details that make you seem more feminine, as well as having feminine routines. When I say small details, I'm talking about things like having a fragrance on, and you know, just the scent and the vibe that you give off when you walk into the room. Your nails, your hair, like things that are like small details that take planning and a routine of doing it to make sure that you're keeping it up to continuously come across as a feminine woman. And that's something that I try to stay on top of, like, but sometimes, you know, it just can't happen. Like today, 2 of my nails are broke. But so it doesn't mean your life has to stop if you can't keep up with those small details. Sometimes things happen. It's just making sure that you have that routine or that intentionality to be able to keep it up. And when I'm talking about routines, also I'm talking about self-care routines, skincare routines, nighttime routines. Because for me, not only do these contribute to me looking and feeling more like a feminine woman, taking care of myself, loving on myself. But it also contributes to me being more productive, feeling more put together in general, you know, when I have these routines in place. So for me, that's a really, really big tip. For highlight today, I'm using my Il Makiage Material Girl Baked Highlighter. And if we're talking about nails and hair, for me in particular, I like to keep it very simple. So this kind of also goes with less is more, because I like to wear very classic hairstyles, simple hairstyles, stuff that's classic. I'm not a huge trends person, so I feel like when you are paying attention to the details and doing more things that are more classy or classic, then you kind of will have like timeless details about you that don't go out of style, and it's always gonna be cute and classy. Like I always will keep a French manicure on my nails. That's me. I've tried the, you know, trendy little stuff that's really popular right now. It's not me. And then like I said, for my hair, I'm always making sure that it's a classic style, something that makes me look good for my face shape and everything like that, but something I feel extremely comfortable in too. Sometimes femininity comes from within, and if we don't feel feminine, it kind of knocks it down a notch. We don't want that. I feel like those small details are super important to feeling feminine and giving off feminine energy. And while we're still on the topic of appearance, my fourth tip would be that modesty goes a long way. Now, Maya, this time last year would not have said that, because throughout my whole life, I have always been attracted to showing a lot of skin, being a little more on the raunchier side. And while, you know, that was okay for where I was in life then, now I see the value in being more modest in my dress. It is by no means to attract a man. You know, some people have a femininity journey to attract a man, fall into their feminine so they can accept the masculine type of vibe. That's cool, good too, but my conversation isn't about attracting a man. It's about how I feel and falling deeper into who I am and who God made me. It's a reflection of how I respect myself, and that I, as a Christian woman, do see my body as sacred and not wanting to show it and give it off to people who don't deserve that, because that's not their place. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of how I see it. A lot of people feel like modesty, you know, kind of goes hand in hand with being super covered up, being a church girl, being all rigid and stiff. No, you can definitely be sexy and still keep it modest. You know, leave something to the imagination. And some people would say that showing cleavage is like super feminine, but it depends on you and your own view. For some people, showing a lot of cleavage is very feminine. For some people, showing minimal or no cleavage is feminine. It's all your own definition, I feel. But for me and my definition, I like to keep it minimal now. And this has changed within the past 3-4 months. So when you look back at some older videos, don't be talking about Maya, but you said, sis, you are constantly changing. I'm constantly changing. So that is something that has been a huge change for me. My mama been trying to get me to dress more modestly my whole life. And mommy, you finally won. Because I agree. One of my biggest tips for that is I like to balance. Like if I'm showing cleavage, a little bit of cleavage, or, you know, a lot more skin up top, I'll cover up at the bottom. Or if I'm showing more at the bottom, I'll cover up at the top. That just kind of helps to balance and give that modesty feminine vibe. I'm gonna use a little bit of this Beauty Pie blush, because I've been loving cream blush lately, just to add a little bit of flush to color to my cheeks. And y'all, I definitely used the wrong brush to apply my blush, so it's a little extra right here, which is annoying, but it's fine. Mistakes happen. Don't mind it, child. Don't mind it. I'm about to throw on some lip gloss. This is my favorite gloss right now. This is the Morphe by Ashley Strong Gilded Spirit lip gloss. And as you can see, I have used it quite a bit. But I just wanted to add a little bit of a gloss today. And this one is actually a brown, like skin tone gloss. So I really love it for a more minimal look. My very last tip on being more feminine is to work on my attitude. And that's my attitude towards like life and people. I feel like there are a lot of things in life that can contribute to your attitude or you coming across as a feminine woman to other people. Because just like I mentioned with the second tip, working on embracing things that make you a woman, we can be hard up on things in life that have changed our attitude, you know, forced to have like more of a masculine type of vibe, unable to receive gifts, unable to receive help, unable to receive compliments. All of this kind of goes towards our attitude. Not only is outside things from life comes against that, but I also feel like what we consume, you know, on a daily basis goes towards our attitude as well. What are we watching? What are we listening to? Like, I'm very intentional about what I'm watching, what I'm listening to, what I allow myself to be exposed to, because I know that that kind of stuff has ripple effects and it works deeper than we even recognize. So I've tried to like work on my attitude towards life and to people to just be more feminine, more receptive, more loving, less negative, less quick to jump to, you know, negative conclusions, or just to be a more soft and gentle and loving type of spirit, you know? And sometimes that takes a lot of work, and reevaluating my life, my world, my situations, what I'm entertaining, what I'm not entertaining, and getting some healing, you know, on some things that could be affecting my attitude towards things, or what I would naturally think of when situations arrive. I want to shift that to be more positive, more gentle, more soft, more receptive. And I feel like that is a big one. Because it's impossible to become a more soft and feminine woman when you are so hard up because of life or because of the content you consume, because that kind of stuff happens without our permission. Those spirits connect to us and you don't even know why you just went off on somebody for giving you a compliment that you didn't like. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you watching the type of women who do these things? Are you watching the type of people who don't respect themselves? You know, like, all of that really, really matters to me, and I'm very intentional about that. So I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can see the finished, soft, feminine, long-lasting makeup look, which I personally feel like is a beautiful makeup look, you know, everyday type of vibe for someone who's looking for something more feminine and soft, but still want a full beat and make it long-lasting. Thank you so much to Haley's for sponsoring today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed the tips. If you like this video, give me a big thumbs up, comment below, let me know what you thought, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.